From a basement somewhere on Music Row, it's the Nitty Gritty from Music City with your host, Brent Browning.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Nitty Gritty from Music City. I am your host, Brent Browning. Man, we got a great show lined up for you. A great debut episode lined up. Love the ending of that song. I just love it. We got a great show lined up for you today, folks. I got my buddy, one of my best friends in town, Mr. Jordan McCants, in studio with us. Before Jordan gets here, I want to take a few minutes and tell you a little bit about the Nitty Gritty from Music City. You may be wondering, what is a podcast and what is the Nitty Gritty from Music City? Well, the Nitty Gritty from Music City is a brand new podcast. We're podcasting from Nashville, Tennessee. I'll be interviewing artists, singers, songwriters, entertainers, comedians, and producers, all from the Nashville area, about growing up and what got them interested in the music or entertainment business and how they are pursuing their career now. I'll also be talking about things going on around town that the entertainer or someone visiting Nashville might be interested in, or it might be helpful to know. Stuff like concerts going on around town, maybe some helpful tidbits to help people move around town some too. So what's the Nitty Gritty from Music City all about? That's what it's all about right there. A brand new podcast episode with new guests will be available each and every Thursday. How can you find us? Well, I tell you, it's easy. All you got to do is go to iTunes, type in Nitty Gritty from Music City in the search bar, and bam, there we are. If you have an Android device, you can download Stitcher for free in the Google Play Store app and type in Nitty Gritty from the Music City in the search bar. Once you're there, be sure and hit that subscribe button. Now I know what you're thinking. Subscribe. He wants us to pay something. Nope, that's not the case here. All the subscribe button does is it downloads the Nitty Gritty from Music City to your favorite device each and every single week, so you don't have to go back into iTunes or Stitcher and do it every week. So now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you a little bit about me before we get to my buddy Jordan. I think it's only fair that you know a little bit about the guy on this side of the microphone. So this is where I'm going to take the opportunity to introduce myself. My name's Brent Browning, and I'm originally from Nashville, Georgia, that is. That's right. There's a little town in between Tifton and Valdosta, Georgia, called Nashville, Georgia. That's my hometown. If any of my music buddies are out there on the road right now, passing through on I-75, I'd love if you honk that horn when you get there to Nashville and tell all my buddies that Brent Browning said, hey. I've had a passion for music since I was 5 years old. I can remember standing up in my mama's car seat as she was driving down the road. Now, this is back before we had child seat laws. I remember standing up in the seat. My mom had the radio on. I looked at the radio one day and I asked her, Mama, where's that music come from? And she kind of looked at me weird and she said, it comes from the radio, son. You should know this. And I'm like, no, Mama, where do they make it? And she said, Nashville, Tennessee. And I said, I'm moving there one day. And hey, here I am podcasting for you right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Glad you're with us. I'm a United States Air Force veteran. I was stationed in Montana. I've done 2 tours of duty, one tour of duty in Kuwait, 1 tour of duty in Iraq. I'm proud to be American, and if it's one thing I love my America, and you can bet your life on that. While I was stationed in Montana, I had the great opportunity to work at a radio station. I worked 4 days a week, 10-hour shifts in the Air Force, so that granted me Fridays off. So I went down to the local radio station there in town, Max Country 94.5, banged on the door until they let me in. And I said, hey, man, y'all need a co-host in the morning time. They finally let me in and did that till I got out of the Air Force. And once I got out of the Air Force, I stayed there at the radio station for about another year and a half or 2. I was one half of a morning show with my buddy Scott Hershey. We're going to have Scott Hershey on the podcast here in a few weeks. I'll get to introduce you to him, so I'm really excited about that. My show schedule, I'm a performing singer-songwriter. I have a full-time job doing music. I play every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge, downtown Nashville, Tennessee, from 2 to 6. So if you're ever in town on a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, come see me there. I'd love to see you in the crowd. Tell us you heard it on Nitty Gritty from Music City, and I'll give you a high five. I also play every Friday and Saturday with my buddy Jordan McCants, my best friend, up at Rippy's on the upstairs patio. If you're ever in town on a Friday or Saturday, come upstairs and say hey to me and Jordan. We'll be glad to see you there. We play there from 2 to 6 also. Some of my hobbies in my spare time, if I have any, this podcast, singing, writing songs and touring out on the road and just being home takes a lot of time. So if I have any spare time, now on Monday nights I make a point to have some spare time because WWE wrestling comes on, and I'm home every Monday night and every Thursday night to watch Thursday Night SmackDown. Also, some of my favorite wrestlers are Ric Flair. Woo! Little shout out to Rick there. How about it, Rick? Stone Cold Steve Austin. I love the Macho Man, Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth. That's my best Macho Man Randy Savage impression, and I can guarantee you it's not very good. I also like Chris Benoit and a whole bunch of others. I absolutely love to fish. Man, there's nothing better in the world I like than throwing that top water bait, reeling it in, and watching that bass just come up and just devour that lure on top of the water. Ooh, I love that. I love to hunt, but I haven't been hunting in a while because winter times are slow here in Nashville. I like to keep busy singing and writing songs, so it gives me something to do. The most important things to me are my family and my God, and you can bet your life on that right there, too. Hey, guys, thank y'all for listening to my intro. I have a little section here I like to call Today's Blabber. Today's Blabber is a section of the show where I can just pretty much say whatever's on my mind about anything in the whole world, whatever, just get it off my mind. Today, on this debut episode, I'm going to give a big old compliment and a big old thanks to the city of Nashville, Tennessee. You guys and girls that work for the street crew out here, y'all keep Nashville looking great, and I appreciate it. The tourists appreciate it. You can go to any honky-tonk on Broadway, downtown Nashville, Tennessee at 2:30 in the morning and see broken glass. You can see cigarette butts, see trash on the streets. But I guarantee you, before sunrise, that street will be clean. So city workers, you guys and girls working for the city of Nashville, I want you to reach your one hand up in the air, reach back and give you a big old pat on the back. You guys and girls are keeping this city clean, and we appreciate it. So y'all, stick right where you are. I got my buddy Jordan McCants coming up. All right, guys, here we are in the Nitty Gritty from Music City Studios. I got my buddy Jordan McCants across the table with me. Jordan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Brent. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm glad to have you on the show today. You are my debut guest, and, man, I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. What's going on with you?
Me too, man. I'm excited that you're doing this. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to go big for you, Brent.
Man, we just having a good time, brother. Hey, you know, I just get to sit down and talk to some of my buddies. That's all I'm doing, just sitting down hanging out. What's going on in the wild world of Jordan McCants?
Man, just been playing a lot of shows. Got back to playing again a couple weeks ago and playing Honky Tonk Central Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then, of course, with you, Friday and Saturday, 2 to 6. And then playing nighttime at Rippy's also. That's about it, man. Playing, and trying to get me this record deal.
I heard that. Man, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, I told the people in the intro that you and I have played a lot of shows together. How many shows would you guesstimate we've played together?
I would think we've played, I would say we've played over 400 shows together, wouldn't you?
I would. That's exactly what I would guess. I told the people about 300, but 300 or 400 give or take, because we've been playing together for the past 5 years, every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes other days in between those two. So we played a bunch of shows together, and I'm glad to have you on here. You're my best friend down here, and dude, I'm just honored.
It's awesome being on here, being the first, man. I'm honored.
Absolutely. Hey, let me ask you a few questions about Nashville and what made you move to Nashville. I'll tell you what, first, let me back up. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Monterey, Tennessee. It's about an hour out of here, not too far, and luckily for me, there's a lot of people all over the place, and they don't get to go home like I do. I could go every weekend if I wanted to, and grew up there and lived there till I was 18 years old, and I came to Nashville, went to school down here, and then started working at Rippy's and back and forth ever since, you know. Cool, man.
Growing up in Monterey, I can guess, because I know you very well, I can guess your influence growing up was not country. I mean, it was rock and roll with a country flavor, correct?
Yeah. I like a lot of Southern rock. Of course, grew up in, always country music being played, and I love country music, but if it was my choice, like I love Southern rock and rock bands, and if it's country wise, I want it to be for me anyways, more like the Travis Tritt, stuff like that. Now with the way it's going now, I don't know. It's going rap and rock, and I don't know what. I don't know, man. It's all over the place. But yeah, for me personally, Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner, but country too. It's all good.
Now I learned something about you just a few days ago. We've been friends for a long time, and I learned something new about you just the other day. That you didn't grow up playing the guitar,
right? You
grew up playing drums, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about it.
I started playing drums when I was about 14, and I don't know. There was a guy that lived in Monterey, and awesome drummer, and I'd watch him play at church and stuff, and he was always in Christian bands and just a great drummer. And I wanted to do that, and finally, when I was about 14, I guess I talked him into getting me a nice drum set, and so they ended up doing that, and started playing. And man, I played I guess from like 14 to 18. Just every single day, man, and just hours and hours of playing, and I loved it, and that's probably another reason I went more rock, because that was always fun to do, sit with AC/DC blaring and play those songs, and but I did that forever, and I liked singing, but it was like the steering wheel singer, and not comfortable doing it out, and me and one of my buddies, Jacob, his name was Jacob Woolbright, me and him played all the time. He would always come over, and he played lead guitar, and we would do Alice in Chains and Leonard Skinner, and sit there in the garage, and just play for hours and hours and have a blast doing that. And he would get me to sing every now and then, just acoustic, and I liked it when it was me and him and nobody else watching, but I was too nervous to play out anywhere else, or sing at that time. And so I played drums until I moved to Nashville. And then when I went to school down here, and there was just nowhere for me to take a big set of drums. So I came down here, and I started picking around on the acoustic guitar and having fun with that, and watching everybody play at Rippy's. And I ended up working there. And so I would do the door or serve tables, anything they needed, and watch everybody play at Rippy's and think, man, that's what I want to do. Chris Jansen was there at the time, and he was always performing, Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays, and I thought, man, that's what I need to do if I could get over the stage fright. And so ended up getting up with it was Tom Stewart, Steve McComb is who was playing one night, and I couldn't think of his name a couple weeks ago, but it was I know it was Tom Stewart, Steve McComb, and one Thursday night they were up there playing, and Thursday night at that time was the Vandy night, Vanderbilt crowd, and so they're all in there, and they were partying, and I was like, I'm gonna get up and do one, and I got up and did the Joker by Steve Miller Band, and I made it about halfway through, and once I got about halfway into it, I was shaking so bad I couldn't sit, I couldn't sing. I was just I wanted to crawl under a table, and I did. I set the guitar down and I walked out, and it was pretty embarrassing. But
in the middle of the song,
I had to stop it. And so I got off the stage and I took off. I remember I went out that back door where the back stairway is, and I stood there like, oh crap, man, I shouldn't have done it. And Tom Stewart, he's the one that told me, him and Steve both, and they were just like, hey man, you just got to keep getting back up till you get those butterflies out of your stomach, and get on any stage you can until that's gone, and it will go away if you want to do it, And so I did, man, and I just kept going. I went to some other littler places where there was nobody in there back in Cookeville, Tennessee, and one in Monterey Sports Bar, and just where there was barely anybody in there, where I could get the jitters out and get comfortable with doing it, and then that led me back to here to doing it full time eventually. Yeah.
Cool, man. I know you used to work in Georgia. You used to live in my home state of Georgia.
Yeah.
You used to work at a place. What What was the name of that place you used to work at?
I worked at a place called Yanmar, building tractors, and they built, from lawnmowers to big heavy equipment tractors. And I worked there for a little bit, but I'd met when I was in Cookeville, Tennessee. I'd met Sky's brother, and
Sky's your wife, right?
Sky's my wife, and we. Everybody should know that, right?
I know, right?
And so I met her brother there, and got to be good buddies, and I ended up meeting her, and I was playing music then, just a couple little places there, and then we ended up having Mackenzie, and I moved to Georgia, worked at Yanmar, and when we lived there, I still wanted to do music, and then I came back to Tennessee. I worked at Averitt Express in Cookeville, and I wasn't playing music then, and then one night I decided, I was like, man, I don't. It was a great place to work, liked everybody there, and I just knew that I needed to be playing music. That's what I wanted to do, and I was still doing little shows every now and then, acoustic, and so I called Sky and I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna quit, and I'm gonna start, going after music and do that. And she told me, she said, well, give it some time, and it just don't rush into it. Try to get some gigs lined up, and I said okay. And I think that night, I'm pretty sure it was the same night, just kept bothering me, and I emailed my boss and I was like, I think I'm gonna turn in my notice, and try to do music full time. And so gave them as long as they needed, and then I went to Nashville on my days off, and walked into Tootsie's, and Scott Collier was up there playing an acoustic show one day, and I went and talked to John, and John told me to go down there and sing. He listened to me, and so I got up and sang, and a little bit nervous doing that because he wasn't even in the room. He was upstairs at that time where the office was, and so I sang there, and then he sent me to Greg Humphrey, and on that Saturday I went over there. And I got there about 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, I guess. And like I said, Greg showed up about 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock on that gig. And, Anita Hill was playing drums, and Josh Black was on guitar. Greg was missing in action somewhere. And so I got up and sang with them. Then Anita told me, she said, be sure and stick around. He needs to hear you. And so I waited, and finally Greg comes walking in, and that's their their tryout day. Anybody can get up and sing, and if they want to do it, and so Greg came in, and I got back up and sang the two songs I knew full band, and I think I sang Simple Man and Folsom, and anyways, from then he sent me over to Rippy's. I started playing acoustics there, and that's what I was more comfortable with. So started playing acoustics there, and I probably played I think like 40 days straight after that. Wow. So it was good. I could at least be making some money and doing it. It's still off tips. You work for tips down here, but everybody they treat you pretty good. And so I did that. So Sky, I guess she was happy with that. I was making money and had gigs lined up. And,
it's kind of a nerve-wracking thing whenever you move here.
That's right.
And you're working just for tips. I mean, you don't know if you're going to bring home the bacon or bring home some ramen noodles.
That's right. Yeah. So I played there a couple times, and ended up meeting Wes Butler and just everybody down here. Wes got me. He talked to John and said he wanted me to do a full band show with him. Played some of those in the back of Tootsie's, and I learned real quick that you better learn it record, and if you don't, they're going to get pissed off at you pretty quick. Yeah. And I didn't know anything record, and I did them my way, or the songs that they wanted, that were the songs you need to know down here for the crowd. I didn't do those, and so me and him started, and it ended up working out, man. I learned what I needed to, and went to Florida, met Archie Van down there.
Mm-hmm. There's a Tootsie's in Panama City too.
Yep, playing at Tootsie's, and that's where I really got comfortable, on the stage with him.
Man, Archie, he's just a
awesome dude,
awesome guy.
There's nothing bad to say about him at all. For not only for me, just everybody that's went down and got to work with him. he'll definitely help you out.
And he's played with Hank Jr., Trisha Yearwood. Anybody else?
Man, I just know Hank Jr. He played for Hank Jr.
Yeah.
But anyways, like he taught me so much down there and told me what I needed to learn, and certain songs I needed to learn. And Billy Arnold was there at the time, and I watched him. I went down with him a couple times when I first started, and I just kind of would sit there and, I need to learn this song. You see the crowd's reactions to certain songs, and it's like, okay. And now you get sick of those songs, but at that time it was like, oh yeah, I got to do this song. I love this song. And then it's like, oh man, I don't want to do Folsom Prison again right now. And but anyways, man, he taught me so much. Came back, and me and Wes Butler did Page Ford Marina a lot, and Tootsie's owns that, and there Rippies, Tootsie's, back and forth, and that went good. We did that for a long time, and then led to where I'm at now, and playing with the band I play with now, and that's Aaron Holt, David Olson, Troy Graves, and Autumn Reynolds on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we have a blast, man. Just awesome group of guys. Always interesting to see what's going to happen there.
You don't never know
to see when Aaron Holt's going to kick over his water on the stage and throw a drumstick at me for missing words or something.
We're going to have Aaron on the show here pretty soon.
Man, just an awesome group of guys. Aaron's an awesome dude. Yeah. Troy, David, Autumn. She's an awesome singer, man. We always have a blast Tuesday and Wednesday. And then, but I can't give up my acoustic shows on Friday and Saturday to do full band all the time. I have a absolute blast with you. That is my most fun shows that I play down here, where it's just you get to do kind of whatever, go off the beaten path of song choices, and it's more intimate of a crowd, and I love it, man. We get to work with Jeremy Major up there,
our sound
putting
guy,
some reverb on it.
Yeah,
and he's a great dude. Everybody at Rippy's, all the staff and management and bartenders and servers, man, it's just like a little family there in Honky Tonk Central and Tootsie's, all the places you play. You see these people every week and work with them, and it's just you get close to a lot of people down here, man. A lot of good people down here.
When you moved to Nashville and you started playing, or before you started playing, was you working anywhere?
The story behind Rippy's and how I got to work at Rippy's was I was down here and I was going to school, and one day it was on I think it was on my lunch or something from school, or I just got done, and or maybe I didn't go to class that day. I don't know. But I went. I was downtown, and I was walking downtown and just looking at everything. I was by myself, and I got on Fifth Avenue right out in front of Legends, and I heard some girls yelling. They were like, "Hey, do you need a job?" And well, they yelled for me to come across the street. So I went over, and they said, "Are you looking for a job?" And I said, "No, I'm not really looking for a job. Just kind of walking around." And they said, "Well, do you want one?" And I was like, "I guess. What do you have?" And they said that they needed somebody on the door for like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Rippy's. And it was when it was just that one little room, I was like, well, yeah, I guess I can do that. So I started that Thursday. And that's how I got to working at Rippy's and knowing everybody there. And so it was kind of by fate, It's like, hey, do you want a job? Yeah, I'm not sure.
It came full circle from you working the door to to us playing together.
And that's right, doing the door, then to waiting tables, and then to playing, playing there. So I'm glad I took that and said, no, I don't want to work.
Yeah, me too. Because now our Fridays and Saturdays, man, you and I have such a blast up there. You do such an awesome job at all the songs you sing. And we normally have a girl with us, Courtney Lynn. We normally have her with us, and she does okay.
Nah, she's all right.
She's pretty good.
We love Courtney Lynn, man.
She's really good.
I've known her for as long as I've known you, I guess, or maybe right after I knew you, I guess, and played full band shows with her too. Used to do that. Went from Wes Butler, and then Jonathan Newton came in, and I played with him for a while, and then met Courtney, and she played, and a lot of good stories there. We won't get into all those, but And then Courtney, she was gone for a while and came back, and she started playing with us. We have a blast with her upstairs every day or every Friday and Saturday. And even though she's left us hanging for the last couple weeks,
I know. I don't know where she's at.
Stalk her and find her. I think she's got a record deal or something and took off.
And she might have did. You don't never know about Courtney. But getting back to your playing, your song selection and your style of writing, I want to talk to you a little bit about writing as well. I know you do some writing. What's your writing style like?
Writing style, man. I have a lot of influences on writing and playing. I go all over the place. We'll go just like our full band shows or acoustic shows. We'll go from singing Johnny Cash to a Led Zeppelin song, and that's kind of like the way I like to write too. Just whatever I'm feeling at that time, and I don't really put it in a category of, well, I only do country music,
right,
or I only do rock and roll, or I only like rock and roll. I don't listen to anything else, because that's not true. And that's not, I mean, about everybody that I meet down here, or any musician, everybody likes a lot of music. If it's good, you like it,
That's right.
And I never was, I'm and still not, like, now the rap, that's a little bit pushing it for me on the rap stuff, the way it's going. But if people like it and that's what they want to do, hey, more power to them. My writing would be more alternative rock to country to southern rock. I don't know where it fits. It just depends on what I'm writing and what I'm doing. I know that if I do a full band album, and I've been saying I want to do that forever, but I still don't know what I want on it. I know it would be more southern rock than anything.
Man, it's really tough to pick the songs you want to put on an album.
Yeah.
Whether you wrote them or you didn't, because this is saying, this is me.
Right.
It's really tough to decide which songs you want to put on an album to showcase yourself to the world.
Yeah.
And you have some great songs I like. My Tailgate Party for Two.
Right. Yeah. That's one of your favorites. I love that song. That's more if you're looking at that song, you would think is more like the modern country, and that's what I wrote it for. When I sat down, I think I talked to Aaron Holt that day, and I was like, I wrote this song, man, and it's borderline cheesy, but it's radio, right now of what's going on, but then I could go from that to the very first one I did, I'll Be Waiting, and that's more alternative rock. Or then you could go to the I'm Gonna Miss You that I wrote for the girls, and that sounds nothing like either one of those. So I don't know. It's all over the place, man. It's just whatever. I guess I don't know if it has anything to do with what I'm listening to that week, or if it's just that's what comes out, and here it is. It's just kind of all over. Well,
it's really good that you don't put yourself in a box and say, "Hey, I'm just going to write this style," or "I'm just going to write this style." Because here in this town, you don't never know what the next big artist is looking for either. If they want to record a song that's kind of got the Tailgate Party for Two feel, I mean, bam, you got it. And if they want a more laid back song or a more family oriented song, I'm Gonna Miss You is a perfect fit for that.
Right.
So in this town, people that's listening, maybe in Kansas or Connecticut or wherever you're listening to us at, if you're thinking about moving to Nashville, but you're not sure your songs are good enough to be here, bring it on, because this town right here is very diversified.
That's right. It's full of bad songs. Bring on some more.
I got a whole book full of them. Ain't you, Jordan? Me too. That's pretty funny.
About everyone that I write, I'm just thinking, I need to change all this. And throw it away.
What if I need to change that line or just the whole song?
It's normally the whole song for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Can we get you to play a song a little later?
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do the "I'm Gonna Miss You" for the girls, and I have 2 daughters here, and one, she passed away a few weeks ago, and it's been pretty rough, and just started playing again at Honky Tonk Central. About 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Took off for a couple weeks for that, and but man, life throws you, crap all the time, and we've got through it pretty good, and it's due to all the people down here. I can't believe this town, Nashville, how awesome everybody has been. That goes from the owners of Tootsie's to the waiters, the door guys, the church we go to. Everybody, man. Once we went through that and people found out, everybody just came in and helped with whatever we needed. I mean, we hadn't had to worry about anything but focusing on us getting better and feeling better. And it's rough, and you still think about it, and every day, you know. And I don't think that's something you ever get over. One of those things, and but you can get through it with awesome friends, you know, like you and just everybody that I've known, and people that I see passing the street or going into place somewhere where I don't really even know them, and the emails or the cards or just little things that they've done has blew my mind. Where I'm like, I didn't even think this person liked me at all, you know. Like I think I waved at this guy or this girl one time, and they just like whatever, you know. And then you get this big long email from them or note just how much they're praying for you or thinking about you, and I would expect that more out of a small town like where I'm from in Monterey or something, you know. And then I come down here and it's the same response. It's like everybody just pulled together and anything you need, and they meant it, you know. It wasn't, hey man, anything you need, you let me know. Like if I would have called anybody for anything, they've done it, you know. And a lot of it, even with like they would say, you know, anything y'all need, or if we can help you out in any way, let us know. And then it's like, well, I don't really know what to ask for, and then they still do stuff, you know, without even asking. So that, to me, man, I mean, Nashville just got better to me, you know. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, if it's all right with you, I'd like to just dedicate this whole entire first debut episode to Emory Hope McCants.
That's perfect, man.
Cool with you?
Yep, that's perfect.
Can you tell us how the process of writing "I'm Gonna Miss You" came about? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, man. I'm Gonna Miss You. My grandpa, he's wanted me to write a song about the girls since I've had them, you know. And just every time I see him, hey, you wrote a song about them girls yet? Have you wrote a song about them girls? And I was like, no. And I'm not one of the people that just sit like, well, I'm gonna write about this today. It kind of has to just happen, you know, and me feel it. And one night I was sitting there at the house, and I pulled out the guitar, and I started playing, and started playing that melody, and I thought, man, I'm going to write this song right now. I don't know if it was something I was watching or seeing something. I think it was something on TV, kind of just made me think about the girls, and like, man, like every little thing that kids do, if you're not writing it down or videoing it, man, you forget about a lot of it. And just those little things, man, you're going to miss it. You know, when they grow up and get big, and that's what the song's all about, is just anything they do, man. It's like once they're adults, you know, it's done. And it's like, man, I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss you at this age, you know, wearing my boots, or, you know, just all the little funny things that they do. And so I sat that night and I wrote it, and it all came out the way, pretty much the way I wanted it, and so here it is, man. You'll get to hear it here in a few minutes.
Awesome. Let's do it right now.
Sounds good.
All right, here we are in studio. We got my buddy Jordan McCants going to play his song. It's called "I'm Gonna Miss You." That was a perfect chord there, Jordan, by the way. I like it. All right, fire it up, brother.
The way you light up a room with your sunglasses on and your mama's perfume, I'm gonna miss you. Mud on your face and dirt in your hair right before we're about to go somewhere. I'm gonna miss you. One day a lucky man is gonna ask me for your hand. Well, it's gonna be hard, but I know it's all God's plan, and I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. Sound of your laugh when we're playing outside, and no scratches on your knees from falling off the slide. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. And you wearing my boots with pigtails in your hair, at the front door with my keys like you're about to go somewhere. I'm gonna miss you. Is Santa Claus real? Do reindeer really fly? Daddy, we don't have a chimney. How's he gonna get inside? I'm gonna miss you. And all the late night talks and that long blonde hair, and you dancing on my shoes in a crowded room somewhere. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. And those 3 a.m.s, and Daddy, I'm scared. So you climb in bed with me, holding that teddy bear. Well, I'm gonna miss you. I'm sure gonna miss you. That chocolate milk smile with crayons in your hand, and the love I have for you, someday you'll understand. And I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. With those 3 a.m.s, and Daddy, I'm scared, and you climb in bed with me, holding that teddy bear. Well, I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. I'm sure gonna miss you.
Yeah, Jordan.
I'm gonna miss you.
Man, that's a great song. Hey, that guitar sounds good, too.
Let me tell you about these guitars. This is a Gibson Hummingbird Pro.
That's right.
Guitar. Awesome guitar. Anyways, Brent bought his, and he told me, man, you got to go over to Guitar Center, get you a Gibson Hummingbird Pro. I can get you a good deal on one.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome sounding guitars. Took me over there. Me and Sky went with him, and we get in there. Sure enough, I loved it. Loved the way it sounded. I got it. Had it for a couple months, I guess, and went down to Panama City Beach. Woke up, played it one night. Woke up the next morning, opened the case up to sit and practice at the house, and all my strings were busted off of it. I noticed all the strings were broke.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked, and then I noticed all the strings weren't broke. They're just all loose because my neck had snapped on it.
Oh, man.
So
a few months before that happened, the same thing happened to mine, except I was down in Panama City also.
Right.
And we were playing down there at Tootsie's. I don't know what happened, but I set my guitar down in the guitar case or the guitar stand on stage, and I must have stepped on the cable or something, or it fell over. Mine already had a crack back there in the neck, and I knew that when I bought it, obviously. But whenever that thing fell over off the stand,
I will say, me too. We bought them with their necks repaired, but still.
Right. We this thing fell off the guitar stand, and the headstock just fell right down there towards the body. And I held it up, and I'm like, "What?" This guy in the crowd said, "I'll buy it for $100."
I bet he did.
And I sold it.
Did you really?
I sold it. I said, "Man," I said, "Here you go." You know, I was upset. I was mad.
Oh my!
Then I went back after the show. I said, "Man," I really, is there any way you let me renege on that?
Yeah.
Will you let me have my guitar back? I'm gonna keep the $100. Will you give me my guitar?
That's awesome.
I gave him his guitar. I gave him his $100 back, and he gave me the guitar. So thankfully. But that's our Gibson guitar story. And then a few months later, the same thing happens to you. So
that's right.
Man, I tell you, we just
mine is all fixed now for right now.
Mm-hmm, mine is.
I haven't opened up the case in about a week.
you better
so
check on it.
Check that before I go play tonight.
You better check on it. Let me ask you some questions. Are you what's your plans with that song? Is that a song you want to put on your album, or is that something that you'd pitch to somebody?
Man, that's probably something I would pitch to somebody. I don't know if I'd put that on the album or not. It depends on where, how it was done, full band, and how it sounded. I don't know. That was just a kind of more of a something I needed to write for myself, you know, with them, and if somebody picked it up, that'd be great.
That would be awesome.
And then, if not, you know, it's there. But I don't know if I'd put that on what I want to do, full album wise or not, man. I have no clue.
Who's some of your influences nowadays in this modern age? Not necessarily of writing, but just singing and writing, I guess.
I would say who I like, anyways. There's not many influences now that I would look at. You know, everybody that I would want to be like and write like would be in the past. Now, if anybody, probably I love Chris Stapleton's new stuff, man. He's a powerhouse and
on fire,
rocker singer. So really him, man. I like so much, man. I like him. I like Eric Church. Let's see who else, man. But influence wise, I don't know. I like listening to him, but not saying like this is where I'd want to go and do. So.
Cool. What are you doing next to further your career?
To further my career next, man, I would say I just need to get in the studio and record and quit putting it off and do a full band album and figure out whether it's my songs that I've wrote or me picking out songs to sing. Get that done and start where I have, you know, an album out where people can buy that. So, but the main thing, you know, just keep writing too. I think I need to write a whole lot more than I do. I write once in a blue moon, and I know I need to get with a group or somebody where I can start writing every week, where it's making me write, you know, because that's where the money's at, and that's the door opener, I think, in this town is get with the right group of guys and just write every single week, and I haven't been doing that, and I need to.
Cool. Well, I got one more question for you, and then we're going to totally get off music.
All right.
One more question. The question is, your Mount Rushmore of artists. You can only have 4. Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore?
Okay, I would put Robert Plant, Chris Stapleton. Let's see here. Mount Rushmore of artists.
You like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, man. I know those two for sure. Who else would it be? Probably Steve Perry. And then for who else, Brent? Probably Taylor Swift.
Taylor, I thought you said it in the question you asked. Who else, Brent?
No, Taylor Swift and Brent Brown, and I'm gonna have to go to 5.
No, we ain't got room for 5. We'll leave Taylor up there. How about that? We'll leave Taylor.
Everybody loves Taylor.
Everybody loves, man. She's a powerhouse, man. She's on fire too.
I tell you what, man. I just want her management crew.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
That's
whoever's backing her and behind her, they did it right. So
yeah, they did. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Hunting and fishing. Do you like to hunt and fish?
Man, Brent, I like to hunt and fish. All right, I haven't been hunting in probably 10 years, and but I know you want a funny story.
I want a good story from you.
And so here's my funny hunting story.
Okay. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Fun and honey story. And so, all right, I went one of the last times I went, I was with my buddies Jacob Woolbright, and he took me, man. We just got up one morning, and he had his spot scouted out, I believe, and took me down this old logging trail, and he told me to shoot off down this one road, and he said, "Hey, man, just stop whenever you feel like you've walked far enough." And it's pitch black dark. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and so I'm walking, and finally I did. I was like, all right, well, I guess this is the spot, because I had no clue where I was at, and I sat down, and I sat there for a minute, and I used this persimmon spray.
Persimmon?
Persimmon.
I got to get me
some. You ever ate a persimmon?
No, I don't think so. I'm from Georgia. We don't need persimmons.
Well, they got some persimmon trees here in Tennessee. I'll have to get you a persimmon.
Well, listen, if I can't spell it, I ain't gonna need it.
You'll like it. So, anyways, I started spraying this stuff out, and And I thought it was messed up. I didn't think it was working. And man, I'm just spraying, can't figure it out. And I really can't see. Man, I put my hand in front of the nozzle, and it's shooting out like a water gun. And so you can't hear it or anything. It's just like a jet stream, a straight stream, shooting out. And I'd sprayed probably half a can of this stuff.
Oh, geez.
And I was like, I don't know if that's if that's good, man. And so I'm sitting there, and it's still pretty dark, and it's starting to break daylight, and you can kind of see a little bit, and man, I hear this, I hear a deer coming behind me down this hill, and it sounds like it is absolutely going to trample me.
Oh,
and so it got so close, man, I can't see it, and I just stood up. I was like, man, it's going to run plumb over me. And so it takes off in another direction. And I was like, well, that's probably it for me. I'm not going to see no more deer. I've done ruined that one. Mm-hmm. And finally it breaks daylight, and I've not been in the woods, I don't know, no time, man. And so I hear another deer coming up, and sure enough, man, he walks right out in front of me. And so I shoot this deer, and it takes off, down in the holler, and I'm sitting there, and Jacob, he's like, there's no way you've shot a deer already. And I said, yeah, man, I've killed one. And he's all right, because it was just daylight. Mm-hmm. And so we take off down to track it, and we get way on down in the woods, and I hear Jacob, he's like, hey man, we found the deer. And we had another buddy with us, and so I just set my gun up against a tree. Mm-hmm. And like an idiot, man, I set my gun up against this tree, and I take off running down to it. Yeah. And we get right there on it, man, and it lets out this big no
way,
and it spins its head around. And so they said, shoot it, shoot it again, kill it. It's not dead. And I said, well, I can't. I don't have my gun with me. And,
it's back there.
Yeah. So they tell me, they're like, why the crap would you leave your gun up? So I take off back to get my gun, and I get it, and I get down there, and I'm not 2 foot away from this deer, and I'm going to shoot it. And I think I was using a 243, and man, I pull up, and I look right through my scope at its shoulder, and I shoot. Well, when I did, like I said, I'm about 2 foot away. I shouldn't use my scope. And I shot it right in its butt again.
Oh,
and so now it's like, poor deer,
Yeah.
And it killed the deer, but it went through some pain. I didn't intend for that to happen. Mm-hmm. But don't leave your gun behind. Always carry your gun. If I should have been military like y'all, I would have known that, right?
Yeah. Should have been with us that day.
That's right.
Jordan, man, thank you so much for stopping by the studio today. Man, I really appreciate it. And you've been an awesome friend to me. And, dude, I just appreciate you being my first guest.
Heck yeah, man.
I couldn't think of anybody else better that I wanted to have on the show than you.
Well, man, I think it's gonna be awesome. I think you're gonna do a great job at this. Nobody better than Brent Brown, and doing his own podcast weekly. I'm excited. Like one of my new favorite TV shows is about to come out.
Oh yeah. Well, man, if the good Lord's willing, man, we're just gonna have just a sit down where you're just gonna talk to some people. That's all we're gonna do.
That's right. I think it's gonna happen for you. It's gonna be good.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for stopping by the studio today. I know you got to get going, and
time to go play at Honky Tonk Central.
Hey, yeah. Before you get out of here, tell people how to find you. Where,
man? Just go to my music page on Facebook, Jordan McCants, and I'll about every month at least I'll post up one show where I'm playing.
Oh, yeah.
And but go to that, and you can see if I'm at Honky Tonk Central on Tuesday and Wednesday, which we're always there 10 to 2s, and at night. And then Friday and Saturday, of course, 2 to 6, Rippy's Rooftop with Brent Brown and me and whoever, and normally Courtney. Mm-hmm. And then downstairs, Rippy's 6 to 10 on Friday and Saturday also. I play there. But yeah, just check out the my music page and like it, and I'll try to keep it posted up with where I'm playing.
Hey, y'all know where to find him now. Y'all go to Jordan McCants Music on Facebook. Do you have a Twitter?
I got a Twitter, but I haven't been on it since I've, about 3 years, I guess? You looked at that the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I looked at it the other day, and I think you had a post on there for 2012.
Yeah, Brent's going to show me how to use Twitter, and I'll get on that.
Okay.
Now, Sky's supposed to be taking care of all that. But she
okay. All right. Jordan, thank you so much, man, for stopping in. I appreciate it.
All right, dude.
We'll catch you later. I want to say thank you once again to Jordan McCants for stopping into the Nitty Gritty for Music City Studios. You can find Jordan on Facebook at facebook.com/Jordan McCants Music. That's Jordan McCants, McCants music.com. You can also find us on Twitter. That's right, Nitty Gritty for Music City. Our handle is at 615 Nitty Gritty. You can swing by Instagram and look at all the pictures we have of all these pretty artists stopping in here. Our Instagram handle is at 615 Nitty Gritty. Be sure to subscribe to us in iTunes. All that subscribe button does is it downloads the Nitty Gritty for Music City to your favorite device for free each and every single week. If you do not have an iPhone, that's totally fine. We're also on Stitcher. All you have to do to go to the Google Play Store on your Android device, download Stitcher. It's a free app, and then just look for us in the Stitcher app. Type in Nitty Gritty for Music City in the search bar. All you have to do. While you're there, take one quick second, leave us a 5-star rating, leave us a comment if you have time. Thank you once again for hanging out with us. Remember, folks, everybody you meet, everybody you see, somebody's going through something that you don't know about. So everybody be nice to everybody. We'll be Tennesseeing you.